Previously on the Secret Alliance. Hey, Danielle, are you going into the Big Brother 22 All-Star game?
Right here. Still in San Francisco.
Welcome to the Secret Alliance. This is episode 2, Dani. How you doing?
Oh my God. We've made it. We haven't been evicted yet.
Don't say that. We could be canceled at any moment. All right, let's talk. We had some big things to go over. Tonight is the premiere, and we're just hours away from it. I'm excited. On the edge of my seat. We've seen some things leak. It looks like a graphic that was on the feed leaked on Twitter, and we saw some faces, people we talked about possibly making it into the house. Any surprises for you, Dani?
No, the biggest thing is this considered an all-star edition, or are they really all-stars? But look, they're reality stars and they're all in the house together. So it's all-stars. So get over it, people. It is what it is. So,
and we haven't seen the whole cast in this.
We haven't seen what we have.
It's eight people. We saw Janelle, we saw Bayleigh, Davon, help me out here, Polly, right?
No, that's Cody.
Cody. Sorry.
That's Polly's brother.
This is
Cody.
This is not something that we're going to go back and edit, but I apologize, guys. So Cody is in this thing.
So
I'm sorry. A lot of people in America are thinking this is like, the twins where you get them confused all the time. Okay.
No.
And then on the left end of that picture, Dani, we saw David from last year.
Yes, we saw David. So this is the thing about David. David was my pick to win it last year. The man can cry. He can cry anytime. He can turn on the waterworks when he wants to. He proved it during the interview. It was quite impressive. The problem with David didn't really get a chance to play because he was already a target. They sensed this guy was going to be bad news. Probably a good guess, but it was questionable based on certain things that we're not going to go into. But I'm glad to see him again because let's face it, you guys, David's fine as hell. I don't care what y'all say.
Okay. Well,
just keep it real.
Game or not, he's going to make a lot of people happy just looking at him on TV.
And let's just say this. I think, remember, you know this, Jason.
Yeah.
David's single. I think Davon is single. I'm just saying.
Okay. The producers love it when people walk in. They're single,
beautiful
ready to
black
mingle.
people and romance together. You want all of that.
We need a showman.
We need a showman
coming in. We think are in relationships. And a lot of them, Dani, let's talk about this, are a little older too. We're talking a lot of contestants in their 40s. Normally that's the person who's the old guy or old lady in the house.
Lord Jesus,
Dani,
we're
grandma. That's us.
Yeah. Legends, prehistoric dinosaurs were up in there. Let's talk about that. So a couple things happened. So when we first entered the house, it was amazing, right? We're all excited. But these people know what to pretty much expect. So one thing I appreciate that it's all previous players is that they know what to expect. So therefore, game on day one. It's game. Yeah. And that's what I love about it.
I think the sequester period is going to be very different than even what we dealt with because they've been tested and they are really, from what we understand, isolated. It sounds like in an interview I read with Julie Chen that they have been just isolated. I remember in some of our sequester, we got to hang out with some of the production people. They let me go have time to play cards one day in the production office. That kind of a thing where you got a little bit of social interaction. They let us go to the pool. I don't know that this has been going on. These guys are probably climbing the walls and they're ready to walk in that house.
Ready to probably hug somebody or just to see anybody, right? And you have to understand that I have the utmost respect with CBS and Allison and crew about this because they have to take certain precautionary measures to make sure people are not infected. So these house guests, I'm sure, were tested several times. And I think the reason why they're going to introduce them at the last possible minute, because they want to make sure before they commit to this game that everyone's in the are healthy and no one has the opportunity or to get infected. So I appreciate them doing this. This is the best call that we have to do. And yes, they probably got 25 people sequestered right now, all contingent if someone tests positive or not.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how they're doing this. Exciting to see tonight. We're going to see it in the big premiere episode of Big Brother. One of the things you touched on there, Dani, leads us right to what fans have been asking us. What is it like living in that Big Brother house? Because I think you watch it and people love the feeds and we're all watching on After Dark or on CBS.com and all that stuff. But people want to know what it's like for us. And this is different because we walked in not knowing anybody, and it's overwhelming to try to remember everybody's name and where they're from and different things. I felt like for 3 or 4 or 5 days, I only knew 2 or 3 people's names. And, you know, it's just like, please don't quiz me on your name. It's just, hey, you, hey, man.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Hey, you. It's always a, hey, you. How's it going, you? It's always you. Everyone's a you.
Yeah. And then you finally learn people, you figure out where they're from. You got plenty of time to talk. So you get some of that information. So I think for this season with All Stars, they are going to come in pretty hot, ready to play the game because they know most of the people going in there, even if just from watching another season. But what people, I think, miss out on is this reality world is pretty small, and we all somehow kind of cross paths and meet each other.
It's a big family.
Mm-hmm.
We're nutty and we're crazy, but we're all family together, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I will say this: it's hard to play the game when you know someone.
Mm-hmm.
So when I played All Stars the second time, most of those people I pretty much had a good relationship with, right? And now you have to come and play this game with people you know. Like, you know, I remember when Erica, I knew when her dog died, and you know, I had relationships prior to entering into the house. So it's going to be unique on how this is going to play out in regards to, are those relationships that are volatile that people probably didn't get along outside the house? Are they going to hold on to that? That was a big factor in All Stars. We had Diane and Janelle were having some issues because of things happened prior to them playing together. But I think when you think of going into the house, the excitement is so key. Like Jason, people don't realize when we stand on that stage, Julie always says, now look around. You may find a friend or an enemy. And you do. You look around, you're like this.
That's the first time that we've seen everybody.
The first time. And then when I looked at you, Jason, you smiled. And I was like, surfer boy. Not those good looks. I thought you were some surfer dude from California that would say, hey.
Yeah.
What's
you
up?
Thought I was Tyler.
Really? And I thought you were, I said, that's not going to work with me. And who knew that on day 2, you and I forged like this amazing alliance together.
Yeah, because it was nothing that you just pick up on just seeing somebody. I was this kid from Mobile, Alabama, working in my church there. Yeah.
In church. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, a Black girl from the north of California. And that's why I think our relationship was so unique and so organically beautiful, is because we were from 2 different sides of the nation, raised totally different. The only common thing we had was the church thing, of course. But I think to see our relationship develop and what it is today, I think that's why people say you guys' alliance was amazing, because it was it was a great relationship that we partnered.
It was real.
It was real. And people can understand that. It wasn't that, what can you do for me in this game? What can you do for me? Most alliances are created later on in the game, if you think about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's out of a need. Dani, when we moved into that house, I don't know where you ended up finding a bed, but that's going to be something tonight that we watch for people to move in. I went to the cot.
I was in the cot.
So you had a cot too?
Yes.
So we were the 2 cots, and we chose that because we didn't want to.
No.
So that's
we were the last people. We were the last people.
I didn't want to ruffle any feathers.
No, we're in the tree. Remember, we had the tree competition.
And wasn't that after we walked in and found our beds?
We didn't find our beds yet because we went straight to the tree, and we had that competition. You won the competition, and we were left with the cots. And I was like, I don't care. You could have stuck me on a bed of rocks. I didn't care. I was
in the Big Brother house. It didn't matter. I was ready to play. I didn't need a good bed.
Julie Chen would have been like, Danielle, here's your bed of rocks. I'm like, that's my bed of rocks. I'm about to get $500,000.
I'm in.
I don't care. I am in it to win. I did not complain. I'm like, what you got?
And we didn't ruffle any feathers because we took those terrible beds. I know that was always a thing where somebody went, oh, he got a good bed or she took a good bed and is in the room that I wanted to be in. And that starts already putting a target on your back. And you know, I went in there trying to think of every single thing that could do that. And you've got to do it. Did the cameras throw you off when we first went in there? Was that something strange and hard to live with?
I think what people don't understand, the cameras do make noise. It goes,
Yeah.
and you're about to say something like juicy, and the camera goes, like it's about to be so good. And the producer's like, this is going to be good. And they will zoom in and you can hear it.
Yeah.
And you look at them, you're like, oh, dang it. And then you try to like say
that. If you're sitting in the backyard and you're talking and you think you're saying something good and that camera spins around to another part of the backyard, it's like, you better get over to that hammock and see what those two are talking about.
Exactly.
It got good.
It got good. So when they say, please, you're obstructing your microphone, we're like, ooh, they plotting. It must be something
who's talking
good.
In the bedroom? Yeah.
Who's talking in the bedroom? So the cameras and the announcement does provide us a little insight of what's going on. So a lot of times when we're sitting there and those announcements goes, please don't obstruct your mic, Jason. I'm like, ooh, Jason's talking somewhere. Mm-hmm. It's 2:00 in the morning. Who's with Jason? Like all that goes in your head.
And you better get up, move around, find out what's going on in the house.
You not the first one to go to bed.
No, one of my strategies was be the last one to go to sleep and the first one to wake up. I felt like there were times where we were exhausted because of that.
Exhausted.
One of us was part of that. We were doing it. We were keeping tabs on everybody in the house.
Everybody in the house.
Of the day and night.
Yeah. Right. You had to find out what's going on.
I can do this for 3 months. And then if I win it, I'll get some sleep.
I'll get some sleep.
So Dani, we did talk last episode about that one house guest who didn't win the game, who went into the house. If they could get a second shot at this and win it all, who would you like to see do that? And I truthfully, I said you, and that's the truth. I would love to see. And when you went back for All-Star, I was like, Dani, this is your redemption.
It's my moment, right?
Do it.
And Chilltown and Erica were like, no, BC, you ain't getting a damn thing.
Everything got stacked against you. Yeah. And that's what happens. And
that's what happens.
Like this game, we talked about David just a minute ago. Maybe this is a good thing for him going in still, even though he's on last season and fresh in people's minds, he's a bit unknown in what he might do, how he will be loyal to everyone. And,
so,
I think he's going to be a good player to watch.
Well, here's the scary thing about David. So a couple things. So it can either work to his advantage because people don't know, or if I'm a seasoned player, if I walk in and David's there and I really don't know what he's capable of doing, with the exception of crying on demand, I'm gonna be a little bit skeptic about David because we don't know, right? So it may work for him or against him. It all depends.
Okay.
It depends who he aligns with.
Yeah.
And the
thing
thing
is, we're gonna see.
Yeah, the thing like with Janelle's all about winning competitions, right? So I'm like I said, I want her to get more into the social game of aspect, because when she played originally, she was so this team against this team. And then All-Stars was kind of similar because it was Sovereign Sinks against the entire house, basically. So I just want to see how this relationship grows with all these house guests. And we'll see how this is going to play out. But David, I'm really interested in playing because he's fun as hell. But two, I want to see him play the game.
I know. Okay, so I'm sorry. I got you sidetracked with David. It's very easy to do because he is an attractive man.
All right,
We're all secure enough to say all that. Okay, so Dani, who's that player you'd like to see?
There's two.
This?
There may be three. Okay, so I would love to see, first of all, I think about Vanessa. The reason why Vanessa is considered one of the best strategists is because the things that girl did on that season was, and she was good about, what I love watching her, she was really good about giving people a complex of feeling guilty when she stabbed them in the back. Like she would cry and be like, I'm doing this because you do this. I don't know what to do. But it was perfect for her game, right?
It worked. Yeah.
It worked.
People didn't like it watching at home though.
No, because she didn't bathe in their blood. She didn't own her being the villain. If she would have said, I'm doing this, then people would have ate it more. So Vanessa is probably one of the greatest to not win. We know for a fact that she sat in the final two, she probably would have won. Also, Janelle in her original season, if she would have made it to the final two, I don't know the counts between Summer 6 and them. She's considered one of the greats because she's a comp piece. But here's one key person that people tend to forget who's speculated to be in the house is it Kevin? Kevin from season 10?
I think Kevin from season 10 is one of the rumors, and all the names that we've said here today are rumors. So we don't know who's in this house until tonight.
So I was there on finale night,
Yeah.
If Kevin made it to the final, Kevin would have won. Jordan beat him on a tie. It was a tie. And she had to like get the tie out. Can you hear me, Jason?
Yeah, I got you. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if Kevin would have made it, he would have won. And Kevin, people are like, oh, he didn't do well in that season. He was pretty good. He calls those lies and stuff. So he's good. I can't wait to watch him. I was rooting for him on that season.
If Kevin walks into the house, you're going to be rooting for him. It would be interesting to see Janelle win it.
Yes.
Because as we said, this is third go round for her. And then, we talked an awful lot about David here. Do we have any rumors of Vanessa going into this house? You mentioned you'd like to see her.
I heard Vanessa and her wife are mothers of 3 brand new babies. I think a set of twins and one single. So I don't think she is able to, at this time, sacrifice her time. I don't think her wife will allow that as well. It's too much to handle 3 little ones.
It's a lot. And as a dad here, I get it. I don't think that as one of the reasons that I didn't get called for All-Star this go round. I think they reached out for the first one back in the day, and I just gotten into news. I was like, this isn't the time in life, and I turned it down. But now having kids and they're young, I couldn't do it for the whole summer. I would miss both sets of birthdays and all that stuff. It'd be too tough.
And it's 3 months of your life, people.
It's long.
3
it's a
months.
long time.
It's a long time.
And they keep stretching this thing longer and longer. One of the seasons, wasn't it 99 days? I mean, that is a long time to be away from your family. Plus, they've been sequestered for weeks on the front end here. There may be a little time on the back end to do media after this. Yeah, it's tough. So tonight is a huge night. Dani, anything that maybe you are looking for? You got about a final minute here before we end this. And we do want to say this. We're going to answer some more questions when we get back to this next few episodes. After the show, we got to talk about what happens on premiere night. But we're going to answer
Who do you think is going to win the first HOH? Who do you think is going to win the first HOH?
I think Janelle is one to watch for that first HOH. I think she knows that she's going to be a target immediately, and she's going to try.
I'm going to pick 3 people.
Okay.
I think it's going to be.
I'll pick David as well.
That's the first HOH? Interesting.
Yeah, because I think he knows that he needs to make a mark as a player in this house, and it deserves to be in the All-Star cast.
Okay. So I'm going to pick Janelle or Davon as the first HOH. Okay. And I want Davon to win an HOH because she's never won one. And I want to see what that girl's going to do with some power. So,
yeah, she needs the power, but also we need to see her be that competition beast that she is on the challenges.
Exactly. So she's going to be a comp beast. You guys, I'm telling you, watch out for Davon this season. I feel it, girl. I feel it.
I love it for Davon. I met her. She was great. She took some pictures with me at that charity event a year ago. I met David too. I got to dig that picture up for you, Dani. I'll text it to you in a little. Okay. And on that, I'll find the picture. We're going to watch that episode, and we're going to talk with you about it. Thank you for joining us on the Secret Alliance.
Bye, everybody.
Wait. We're not done here. We got to remind everybody to go to the YouTube channel because people are listening to it on the podcast, but we're on video too. Go to our YouTube channel. We link you at thesecretalliance.com. Okay, now dance us out, Dave.
Dance us out? We got to get a theme music. I'm old. I can't do, all that stuff anymore. I'm old. My hip hurts. I can't drop it like it's hot like I used to, Jason. I could drop maybe half a thing and then my hip gives out.
Oh my.
I'm old.
All right. That's
all right, bye, everybody.
That'll be a fun way to end it.